about Catalonia and Spain. Welcome to this episode of Vox. Earlier this year, Catalonia's president, Pere Aragonés, stated that the second phase of Catalonia's push for independence from Spain shall begin this year. The president earlier called for a referendum and amnesty law during his Christmas speech. So, what exactly does Catalonia, the region that contains the city of Barcelona, want to separate from the Spanish country? Some of the reasons why Catalonia wants to be independent from Spain ranges from increases in unemployment to beliefs of being mistreated by the Spanish government. However, to understand this whole entire dynamic, we must look into the history of tension between Spain and Catalonia. The Principality of Catalonia was a state under the Crown of Aragon, which was a product of the dynastic union of the County of Barcelona and the Kingdom of Aragon. A dynastic union is where different states are governed by the same dynasty, either through political marriage or a treaty. This happened once again in 1469, when Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon, the two monarchs that would eventually fund Christopher Columbus and his expeditions to the Americas, those guys, married. Their union formed what would eventually be known as the Monarchy of Spain, that still exists to this day. The Principality of Catalonia kept its own customs, laws, courts, and government, known as the Generalitat of Catalonia, which kept its own sovereignty. In 1714, the Crown of Aragon was officially assimilated into the Spanish monarchy through the decrees of Nova Planta, which started to in place a centralized Spanish government. This resulted in the gradual introduction of the Spanish language into Catalonia and the royal certificate prohibiting forms of expression such as dancing or singing that was not in Spanish. From the mid-19th century to the beginning of the 20th century, Catalan nationalism started to increase in the population, forming either pro-self-governing or pro-independence parties. In 1932, Catalonia was granted a Statute of Autonomy, which allowed Catalonia to have its own government, which included its own form of identification, constitutional frameworks, and their own government institutions. It was, however, disbanded due to the Spanish Civil War. In 1975, after the dictator Franco's death, Catalonia voted for the adoption of a democratic Spanish constitution and gained a new Statute of Autonomy in 1979, restoring the Generalitat. Now, we come to the present day. In November 2003, the Catalonian government presented or redacted a new version of Catalonia's Statute of Autonomy, whose main aim was to expand specific sections of the government. It was approved after a referendum in 2006, but it was contested by the Conservative People's Party, who sent the law to the Constitutional Court of Spain. The court in 2010 declared some of the articles void. These articles established an autonomous Catalan system of justice, new territorial divisions, improving the status of the Catalan language, improved financing, and the declaration of Catalonia as a nation. This decision made many citizens of Catalonia quite unhappy. Then in October 2017, the Parliament of Catalonia passed an independence referendum, which the Constitutional Court of Spain declared as illegal, as it breached the 1978 Constitution. A few weeks later, the Parliament of Catalonia symbolically declared independence from Spain. The Spanish government was not at all pleased with this decision and dismissed the Catalonian Parliament and Executive Council and declared a new election, which a pro-independence party won. This resulted in the former Catalan president, Jean Puigdemont, and other politicians fleeing into other European countries. 9 other cabinet members, including the vice president of Catalonia, were sent to prison under charges of sedition, rebellion, and misuse of public funds. This happened once again in 2019, where several Catalan politicians were imprisoned and charged from sedition to misuse of public funds once again for being involved in organizing another referendum on Catalonia's independence from Spain. This sparked outrage, and there were many demonstrations all across Catalonia. They were later pardoned by the Spanish government in 2021. As you can see, this struggle is far from over and is something that the global world truly needs to keep an eye on. Thank you for watching, and this is the end of this episode. Ciao!